Today we are making tortellini soup. Soup is so warm and comforting, and this is one of my favorite ones. I have a great recipe for this that I am really excited to share with you guys. If you've never had tortellini before, they are little pasta balls that are basically like filled with cheese. Then they get all warm and melty when you put them in your soup, or you can have them as pasta. You could put some pesto on top of them and eat them like that. You can have them cold even. They're very tasty. They go into so many things that they're really easy to make. I am going to make a giant pot of it so that I can have plenty of leftovers. I'm excited for soup. Let's go!
First things first, we're going to brown the meat. The good thing about this soup is that it can easily be changed based on what you have lying around in your fridge for veggies and meat, or if you don't have any meat at all. Spicy Cajun or Italian sausages are my favorite to use because they give the broth a spice when the soup is done. This time I used some chicken sausage we had on hand. When browning the meat, you can use a separate skillet, but I like to save myself from doing the extra dishes and just brown it in the pot that I'll be cooking the soup in. If you're using particularly oily sausage though, you may want to drain out the excess fat and oil before adding the rest of the soup ingredients, or the soup will end up with an extra bit of oil in it. Chicken sausage isn't that oily, so I was okay skipping that step this time. Once the sausage has been heated through, but not necessarily browned all the way, we're going to add about half a yellow onion that's been diced and 3 diced cloves of garlic, and let that cook until the onions are translucent. By this time, the sausage should also be fully browned with a little crisp on the edges. The crisp on the sausage is my favorite part and will add some texture to the final soup. Next, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, salt to taste, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. For the liquid in this soup, we're going to use 4 cups of chicken stock, 2 cups of water, and 8 ounces of tomato sauce. When you add the liquid to the pot, the temperature will go down significantly, so we'll need to bring it back up to a boil and then lower again to a simmer and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Don't forget to try the soup as you go. Tasting your food as you go will always be a great idea. Salt and re-season to your taste. I also added some mushrooms and cabbage. Greens make a great addition to the soup, but if you're going to use more delicate greens like spinach or kale, add them in the last 2-ish minutes that the tortellini is cooking so they don't get overcooked. Then stir in the tortellini and cook until tender to package instructions, which is about 7 minutes. You'll probably notice that tortellini also start to float when they're done. To finish the soup, we're going to add a 1/3 cup of heavy cream and about 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh basil if you have it on hand. Fresh basil is fairly delicate, so it's the same idea as the leafy greens like spinach and kale. Add it towards the end so it doesn't overcook and turn bitter. I usually turn off the heat after adding the heavy cream, stir, and let the heat from the pot warm the cream through, and then it's done. Serve it with a crusty garlic bread or just on its own. I don't even need to try it. I know it's good. I've made it a bunch of times in the past. I know it's delicious. I think the best thing about this recipe is how you can change out the veggies and the meat to make it completely different flavors. I've tried it several different ways, several different types of sausage, even some chicken sometimes. Anything that we have left over in the fridge, I just basically throw it in with the tortellini and the broth, and it's good. It's been good every time. So it's a great recipe to use whatever you have left over. Throw it in a pot and have some good soup. I love making it every fall and winter, so I hope you guys like it too. If you like this video or you learned something, give it a like. If you'd like to learn more, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.